I was driving in, I was thinking about the parallels between two great organizations. And the NAACP this week that has been here making an outreach to younger members in the same way that I think you've got to focus on outreaching to the next generation. How can we be more inclusive? How can we foster growth? And what is it that this next generation needs from us? That's true with the NAACP. As many of you know, they symbolically buried the N-word at the beginning of that term. And the symbolism associated with language and message and how that is oppressive was a powerful symbol. Of course, you've got to follow it up with action. And it's a symbol for us here at this conference as well. We all know how powerful language is and the messages that NOW has been working on throughout its history. But it's, you know, it's a great opportunity to continually look at what are we doing to reach out to the next generation, and what are we doing ourselves with respect to language, message, and image. And you know, I've got two daughters, one who just graduated from high school, one who's in high school. And when I was very active in NOW during the effort to try to, you know, pass Equal Rights Amendment and all that, it was different. It was different for, in fact, I'd love to see the hands of those in this room that are 30 or under. If you're under 30, look at that. Great. And I'm 48. And when I was in high school and in college, you know, there were, you know, we were working at that point on changing laws. And so Title IX, I think, was the greatest gift to women. I didn't have a chance. You didn't. You know, none of us up here. I don't know. You look pretty young. She's way too young, right? You had a chance to operate under Title IX. You got to play. We didn't get to. I don't mean to speak for you automatically, but. All right, so we didn't get a chance. You know, we didn't get a chance. But Title IX, what a great moment, that law that was changed, that changed the direction, I think, for women. So the question for us now is, how does NOW become relevant? And as I was driving in, I was saying to you that there was a radio show on. I don't know if any of you heard this as any of you driving in, but the host was saying, I want to hear from people. What's the relevance of NOW? What is the relevance of having a women's organization now that all the laws are clearly favorable to women? Why do we need it? Why do we need it? And so... Amen, sister. But I think it's a question that we have to continually ask ourselves, right? What is it that we need to do for a great organization to make sure that it does continue to be relevant for the next generation? Because you know, we have been successful. I think women of the generation before me were very successful in moving an agenda through the legislature, through legislatures both state and federal level. But the question is for the young women who raise their hands, how do we make sure that this is relevant for you? Because it is different for you, right? So I think, and I say this because I'm, you know, this mother thing happening, and I'm dealing with teenagers who are very ensconced in popular culture, and the power of popular culture on their behavior and their image of themselves. And you know, in fact, my oldest, who is a pistol, and has been a pistol since she was born. She came out of the womb swinging at the doctors, and she hasn't stopped swinging ever since, God bless her. When she was 8 years old, she, you know, or 9, 10, whatever, she was a total tomboy. She would wear a baseball cap on backwards, would not wear a dress if I paid her. She, you know, I tell this story because it's symbolic of the image issue, the message question. When we would go to Target to go shopping, and she'd see, you know, the racks of magazine racks, and so you'd see, you know, Cosmopolitan and Self and all of that, you know, everybody, you know. So she pulled me over and she said, Mom, and this is one. She pulled me over and she said, Mom. I said, what, Kate? She said, look at this magazine rack. And I said, yeah, what? She said, what is the message that's being sent to girls of my generation? It's great. I mean, I don't know, you know, so she's aware. She's certainly aware of it. But that doesn't mean, like any of us, that you're not sucked into it as well, right? In fact, I don't know if my mother, who was a great feminist, but also a product of her generation, and felt trapped often by her generation, she used to tell me all the time, you know, when she tucked me in, you can be anything you want, put on your wings and fly. You can, you know, I wanted to be a jockey at the time, and you know, my height notwithstanding, and the fact that we did no access to horses, but you know, I wanted to be a jockey. But she was all about, you know, whatever you want to do, you can be anything. And then, as I got into high school, she would say, but when you play tennis with the boys, let them win. Because they don't want to, but you know, that was where she was coming from, right? That was that generation. It was a dual message. Well, that was pretty overt, but don't tell me that we don't get those dual messages on a daily basis still through popular culture. I was thinking about some TV shows that are constantly reinforcing negative messages. I mean, you get Howler the Nun. I was thinking The Bachelor, you know, where women have to vie and do these ridiculous things to be able to have the privilege of winning over this fella. Or even something as ostensibly benign as the show, which I mean, I love the concept of the show, Deal or No Deal, right? But what is it? It's the guy who's making the deal, and these beautiful, you know, women who are flanking him, doing nothing but, you know, that message over and over again, as you all know, because this is an issue you work on all the time, is so powerful for these young girls. When, you know, whether it's Paris Hilton or Britney Spears or any of those so-called role models, you know, where are the flip role models? I want to see these powerful, and it's true, you're starting to see some of these sassy, strong, and sexy women, you know, powerful young women. And so this next generation, I can tell you that for my girls, they don't want to be frumpy strong. They want to be sassy and sexy strong, you know? They want to be able to, you know, they want to be able to conquer the world. They want to be able to say nobody can be second to me. In fact, because of Title IX, my girls are total sports hounds, which is great. But you want to talk about competitive? You want to talk about taking no prisoners? God bless the boys they marry. That's all I can say. Because really, they're proud. They call themselves beastie girls. You know? They're proud of that strength, and that's terrific. I think that's great. But I can tell you that there's not enough saturation of strength and power being a good attribute for women, because we just don't see it, even anecdotally, enough. So as we think about what now can work on in the next generation, in addition to reproductive freedom and all of that, pay equity and the things that challenge the laws as they are and create laws that we want them to be, behaviors and results in the world are things that we can work on together.